That's so fun. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 2nd, 2025 City Council meeting. And Suzanne, would you please call the roll?
Mayor.
Hmm.
Mayor Case,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Nakai is absent. Councilmember Bryant,
Here.
Councilmember Gear,
Here.
Councilmember Jones,
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Yep.
Thank you.
Would everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. That takes us to item 3, ceremonies, presentations, and appointments. Item A is presentation and information on this year's Mountain Arts Festival. And we have Nancy Stannard with us. Good evening, Nancy. She is the president of the Mountain Artists. Welcome. Hi.
Let me make sure that's on for you. I can hear it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Mayor Case, members of City Council, thank you for having me tonight. Yes, my name's Nancy Stannard. I am president of the Mountain Artists of Teller County. And I came tonight to just give you a little information and hopefully a little break from problems that you may have to address tonight. This is all good news. So I just wanted to make everyone aware of the Mountain Artists if you're not. We're a group that started in 1989 and in Teller County, and we now have over 70 members. Our biggest event every year is the Mountain Arts Festival, which is in the second weekend in August. And we've been recognized by the city as a signature event. We're very proud of that. And this year we brought in over $8,000 in revenue in the form of taxes. So that's something we are proud of giving to the state and the city. Some other things we do, we have an annual student art show. For middle and high school students, we award, it's a juried show. We bring in an artist from out of Teller County, usually Colorado Springs or Denver. And they jury the show, give awards for best of show, for second, third, in many categories. And the kids are thrilled. Plus then we hang their art in the gallery of the library here, the Woodland Park Library. We do that every year. We also give away a scholarship to a graduating high school student that applies and is going to continue their education post-high school in the arts. In addition to that, we support the Parks and Rec of Woodland Park. We have purchased art supplies for the kids' camp in the summer for the last 2 years. I'm very happy to do that. And a lot of our members also teach art classes to the community. One other thing we're doing that is just brand new, and hopefully you'll see this in the Courier soon. I sent it to Pat. We have a new program for community members. It's a grant. It's a mini grant so that anyone in the community that has an interest in taking a class or a workshop, private or group class, in the arts of any kind can apply and get up to $250 per year. And that's a new program for us. We're real excited about that so that we can spread art and opportunity for art even further. Lastly, I want to tell you that this weekend, I'm sure you're aware of the event at the library, Night at the Library. We, as individual artists, our members, donate art for their silent auction, original artwork. So we're really pleased to be able to do that. just wanted to let you know all the different ways we connect with our community here and support people that want to learn art, appreciate art, love art. And I'm going to leave you tonight with 10 Reasons to Support the Arts. It's from the Americans for the Arts Council. And I'll just highlight a couple of places that you'll find interesting. Arts strengthen the economy. Arts improve individual well-being and unite communities. And they can tell you how, in case that's not clear. Arts have social impact and can improve healthcare. There's just so many ways that arts go beyond something good to look at. So thank you for tonight. If you have any questions about our group, I'd be glad to entertain that.
Thank you. Council, do you have any questions for Nancy?
I do.
Okay.
Nancy, thank you for the presentation. So I'm just curious though, you said $8,000 in sales tax
Tax.
that you
Taxes.
passed to the state and the city?
Mm-hmm.
And that was from the last?
This summer, the Mountain Arts Festival. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Mm-hmm. The last 3 years have been that much or more.
that's impressive.
It
really.
is.
Yeah.
The amount.
We had over 90 artists in Memorial Park,
Yeah.
and the average sale was $1,000
Okay.
per artist. Some made less, some made more, some made a lot more.
And do you have everybody returning back again this next weekend? And you're expecting that many, 90 or so artists?
Next year?
Or next year, yeah.
Yeah, I do believe so. We will start taking applications in the first of the year.
Okay.
And it is a juried show as well to bring up the quality,
Very cool.
make sure that it's quality art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Nancy, also, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same organization that gave my daughter a $500 scholarship for her painting
Mhm.
from high school her senior year.
Okay, what is your
Right.
daughter's name?
Kari Smith,
Okay, do you know what year that was?
she was 2008.
Okay, before my time as president.
Okay, but she
Great.
did, that really encouraged her, and she went on to Pikes Peak State College,
Uh-huh.
and her instructor was one of the VPs for Hallmark.
Oh, no kidding.
And because she's very awesome at it, they actually offered her a very large sum to come and work, for them.
Is that where she works?
No,
No.
she decided to go the opposite way and go to photography.
Oh, okay.
But it's very encouraging for our youths in our community. And that's my whole, thing
Mhm.
is that, hey, these kids have, some things that they can do and look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of artists can make careers out of art. I know I did. And they're not only fine artists, but applied arts. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Anything else? All right. Nancy, thank you. And council, I have my ticket for Night at the Library. I would hope to see a number of you there, if not all of you. No pressure. Thank you, Nancy. Right, that takes us to item 4, additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. Suzanne, do we have anything? No, ma'am. Thank you. Item 5 is the consent calendar. It is so quiet in here tonight.
It is.
Item A is approval of the September 18th, 2025 regularly scheduled city council meeting minutes. Council, could I look for a motion, or do you have any questions for staff?
I'll make a motion to approve the September 18th, 2025 regularly scheduled city council meeting minutes.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, council? Suzanne, would you call the roll, please? Thank you. Case? Yes. Bryant?
Yes.
Gear?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Smith?
Yep.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Thanks, council. Now we are with item 6, public comment on items not on the agenda. Suzanne, do we have anyone signed up?
We do not for we have someone for public hearing, but not for this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone in the audience wishing to address the council? Seeing no one, we'll move on to item 7, Unfinished business, we have none this evening. Item 8 is ordinances on initial posting. We have 4 items. We'll take them one at a time. Item A is approval of ordinance number 1505, series 2025 on initial posting and ordinance of the City Council of the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, approving the purchase of Lot 6, Block 2, Bergstrom's Addition, and 1/2 vacated alley adjoining property and 24-12-69 PO portion of the Southwest 4, Northeast 4, and half of the vacated alley adjoining property, and set the public hearing for October 16th, 2025. Do we have any general questions, council, of staff? And if you want to make a motion, you do not have to repeat that.
No, but I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
For the approval of ordinance number 1505, series 2025 as written.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council? Suzanne?
Thank you. Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Smith,
Yep.
Case.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
All right. Item 8B is approval of ordinance number 1506, series 2025 on initial posting and ordinance of the City Council of the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, approving the purchase of parcels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14, and Aiden LLC, a California limited liability company, as to an undivided 31% interest in and to parcel 6 and Presidio Patio Homes at Shining Mountain Golf Course LLC, a Colorado limited liability company, as to parcel 12 and Gregory M. Brown as his interest may appear in and two parcels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14, as to an undivided 69% interest in and parcel 6, and set the public hearing for October 16th, 2025.
Well done, Mayor. Well done.
And you don't have to repeat that either. Council, do you have any comments or questions? Not, I'd like to have a motion, please.
I'll make a motion for the approval of ordinance number 1506, series 2025 as written.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council? All right, Suzanne?
Thank you. Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Smith,
Yep.
Case.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, council. Item 8C is approval of ordinance number 1507, series 2025 on initial posting and ordinance adjusting expenditure appropriations to the general fund in the amounts and for the purpose as set forth below, or the City of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2020 of the City of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year, and amending ordinance 1485, series 2024, and set the public hearing for October 16th, 2025. Do you have anything, Aaron?
This item just corresponds to item A.
All right. I didn't call on you for the first two. I'm sure you had nothing.
Just for clarity, you're saying, so this item C is the dollars allocated for item A.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
the $695,000 for
Thank
the
you.
purchase.
All right. Do I have did I get a second on that?
There was,
Did you get
Oh,
a motion?
I didn't even get a motion. Heavens. Help me out here.
I'll make a motion for the approval of ordinance 1507, series 2025 on initial posting, and ordinance adjusting expenditure appropriations to the general fund and the amounts. And for the purpose as set below for, I'm assuming that means, should read for
Yes.
the City of Woodland Park, Colorado, for the 2025 budget year and amending ordinance number 1485, series 2024, and set the public hearing for October 16th, 2025.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council, or questions? Suzanne?
Thank you. Gear,
Yes.
Jones.
yes.
Smith,
Yep.
Case,
Yes.
Bryant.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
And our last initial posting is item D, approval of ordinance number 1508, series 2025 on initial posting An ordinance adjusting expenditure appropriations to the various funds in the amounts and for the purpose set forth below for the city of Woodland Park, Colorado for the 2025 budget year and amending ordinance number 1486, series 2024, and set the public hearing for October 16th, 2025. Aaron.
And this item corresponds with item B. This is $3.2 million supplemental appropriation for the water fund.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Any questions, council?
Nope.
I could have a motion,
I'll
please?
go ahead and move to approve ordinance number 1508, series 2025 as written.
Thank you.
Second?
Steve got it. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council? Suzanne?
Thank you. Jones?
Yes.
Smith?
Yep.
Case?
Yes.
Bryant?
Yes.
Gear?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, council. Item 9 is public hearings. Council, I just want to remind you that this is a quasi judicial item, and I hope you all remember what that means. Item A is approval of ordinance number 1503, series 2025, an ordinance rezoning lot 1, block 12, Foster's Addition, including the adjacent west 1/2 of vacated Scott Avenue as described at reception number 483423, and the adjacent north 1/2 of vacated alley as described at reception number 590996 of Woodland Park, Teller County, also known as 309 Willow Street, Woodland Park, Colorado, from urban residential to central business district. A request by Robert and Elizabeth Vincent Horitz, applicant and property owner. CJ.
Thank you, Mayor. I
You're
will not
welcome.
be repeating that ordinance either, so.
It's my pleasure.
It is. The subject property is located on the southeast corner of Pikes Peak Avenue and Willow Street, as seen here from the vicinity map. This current slide is the zoning, and as you can see outlined in red is the subject property, which is in yellow on the map and is zoned urban residential. The adjacent properties to the north and east are zoned central business district, which are in blue, and adjacent properties to the south and west are zoned urban residential, also in yellow. Again, the subject property is located on the southeast corner of Willow Street and Pikes Peak Avenue. To the north of the property is Pikes Peak Ave, single-family residential, and the Human Bean, which are all zoned CBD. The single-family residential houses are located to the south and west of the subject property are zoned urban residential. And lastly, directly to the east is the Peak Fly Shop and Forest and Planter in the CBD zone district. On the next couple slides, we have some site photos. This photo is the subject property taken from Pikes Peak Avenue facing south. This photo is right across Pikes Peak Ave from the previous slide, but facing north. On the left side of the photo is a single-family residence, and on the right side of the photo is the Human Bean. Both of these parcels shown here are in the CBD zone district. This photo is taken from the intersection of Pikes Peak Avenue and Willow Street, and this photo is taken of the subject property is facing southeast. Again, this photo is looking in the opposite direction of the last and is looking northwest, which is a single-family residence zoned urban residential. This photo is taken from Willow, looking at the subject property facing east. And the last one we have here, and this photo is taken on Willow Street, looking west and is right across the subject property, and this is also a single-family home zoned urban residential. Woodland Park Planning staff received an application for a zone change on July 11th, 2025. The owners and applicants of the property are requesting to change their zone designation from urban residential to central business district in order to operate a non-primary short-term rental unit. The Woodland Park Code defines a short-term rental unit as a dwelling unit or portion thereof that is rented or utilized for furnishing lodging, accommodations, and occupancy for a period less than 30 consecutive days. This is quite different from traditional commercial lodging, such as hotel, motel, bed and breakfast, inn, or lodge, which offers a room for transient lodging, accommodations to members of the general public. Non-primary resident short-term rental unit means the short-term rental unit is not the primary residence of the owner and operator of the primary residence. And it does not need to be on site throughout the visitor stay. The owners of the subject property have been operating this property as a short-term rental unit since they purchased it back in 2006. With the adoption of the recent short-term rental ordinances, the use of this property as a non-primary residence STR is not in compliance with city code. According to Ordinance 1469, Series 2023, the non-primary resident short-term rental units are only allowed in commercial zone districts. On the right-hand side of the slide is a snapshot of the table of permitted uses listed within that approved ordinances. The owners are requesting a zone change in order to operate that non-primary residence STR at this location, which would be in compliance with the Woodland Park Municipal Code. Described on this slide are the purpose statements for the existing zone categories, which is UR, and the requested zone district, which is Central Business District. The application was referred to the entities listed on this slide, and staff received no comments. Zone change requests are analyzed in accordance with the questions within the next few slides. The first being is that the request being in line with the comprehensive master plan. And as you can see here, the subject property outlined in red, the designation use is labeled single-family residential, but does directly abut land that is designated for downtown mixed use. Is the proposed zoning consistent with the comprehensive master plan objectives? The zone application is supported with the first two provisions listed here on this slide from our economic development section of the plan. On the other hand, staff believes that the application is contradicted by the housing objective 1.1 on the bottom of the slide. Number 3 is what has been changed in the surrounding properties that would warrant a zone change. As previously discussed, the Woodland Park Municipal Code has changed regarding regulating short-term rentals. In late 23 and early 24, 2 ordinances came into effect that prohibit a non-primary resident short-term rental unit with residential zone districts. Number 4 is describe the appropriateness of the CBD zone at this location. As noted within the zoning map, the subject property does border land that is zoned CBD. Land directly to the east of the subject property is CBD zone with businesses currently operating. To the north and northwest across Pikes Peak Avenue, there's a single-family home with the CBD zone designation. The CBD designation may be considered appropriate at this location due to the subject property bordering existing CBD zone land. Number 5 reviews the density in accordance with wastewater treatment. And the existing single-family dwelling is connected to the city wastewater system and will continue to be served for the foreseeable future. The last question analyzed here was number 6, and is the ability to serve the max density planned with water resources. The property has already been developed with existing single-family dwelling that is connected to city water system and will continue to be served for the foreseeable future. The municipal code does not contain language regulating maximum density within the CBD zone district. However, new commercial development and redevelopment projects are subject to site plan review. Should the subject property be rezoned to CBD, any future development or redevelopment would be subject to the standards found in that code section. The application met all noticing requirements, and staff has received no public comments on this item. Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 28th, 2025, and after consideration of the staff report and comments made at the public hearing, the Planning Commission decided 5-1 that City Council approved the zone district change from urban residential to Central Business District. In staff recommendation here, we have 2 recommendations for you tonight, Council. So the first being, should the City Council find that there is sufficient reason to change the zone designation for the subject property from urban residential to Central Business District, City Council should approve Ordinance 1503, Series 2025. And lastly, should the city council find that there is not sufficient reason to change the zone designation for the subject property from urban residential to central business district, the city council should disapprove ordinance 1503, series 2025. This concludes my presentation. We also have the applicants here in the crowd tonight, so let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thank you, CJ. Council, do you have questions of staff?
Yeah.
George?
So why the CBD? What's that versus some of the other designations? I know this, in our packet, we received the minutes from the planning commission and there seemed to be a
Right.
lot of discussion.
Yeah, we did have some planning commissioners ask that same question. So when the applicants first came to us, when this ordinance got passed regarding short-term rentals, they did ask us kind of what our recommendation was if they were to go down this route. So although it's not in the zoning code verbatim, it's general planning practice that we don't want to spot zone anything in the
Right.
city. Right,
I
so.
think that's more than practice, though. That's statutory requirement.
Right, so, since the central business district does border this property on two different sides of the property, the CBD zone district was the easy go-to. So, and during the planning commission hearing, there was a lot of talks about it like a transitional zone,
Mhm.
and neighborhood commercial got kind of thrown into the mix there. And, that's really not the, why the neighborhood commercial, it's not the purpose of the neighborhood commercial zone district. And it doesn't have any inclination to residential activity in that NC zone district. And even if this, if we were talking about the NC zone district, it still would be spot zoning because there is no
There's
neighborhood
nothing else.
commercial in that area and directly abutting the subject property. So,
But NC does align more to the use of that property. CBD kind of opens it up to, should the owner sell, you could put a tire shop there, correct?
yeah, so yeah, in the presentation, we talked about that's something that council does have to consider. Right? So, and I do want the applicants to talk about their
Sure.
future plans, which they will. Just from meeting with them and talking with them, as long as they own the property, it's going, if the zone designation goes through tonight, they're going to operate this as a short-term rental unit, and they can talk more about that. Obviously, if this is zone CBD forever, you do have to think about that because anything in the listed as a permitted use
Yep.
could potentially happen.
Yep.
So,
Council, if you have more questions of staff, we'll do that and then we'll ask the applicant to come up. Does anyone have anything else for
Yeah,
staff right now?
I do have another question for you, CJ. With the housing objective 1.1, point that was brought up, how it was kind of contradictory to the rezoning. Is there a framework that planning is using to make sure that we are over the long term maintaining that, stable and the variety of housing options? What keeps us, from kind of slowly encroaching on these areas that should be residential and, kind of maybe changing the footprint of these areas?
sure. Yeah, and I think the comprehensive plan and in accordance with our zoning code, I mean, those two work together, right? The zoning code is what's written in concrete, and those are our rules and regulations that we abide by. Our comprehensive master plan is our aspirational document that we work with every 10 years when it gets updated. As you guys know, we work with the citizens, we work with you all, we work with the planning commission to kind of create this aspirational document of what we want the city to look like. So I think those two things really help planning staff move forward with these type of applications and help the city council make these tough decisions. So.
Can I ask another question for you?
Please.
Are you done, Seth? Yeah. CJ, can you pull up that permitted use
Sure.
slide you
The
had? there?
table?
Yeah, the table.
If I could move this here. Yeah, and this came directly out of that short-term rental ordinance, so.
And can you repeat your comments about neighborhood commercial? What is that typically used for?
Yeah, and if I could just stop sharing and if I
Yeah,
can,
sure.
I just want to reshare our zoning code, and I would love to read you the purpose statement for the NC zone
Yeah,
district.
please. That would be
Yeah.
great.
A little hard to read, so I apologize. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. So this is the purpose statement for the neighborhood commercial zone district. So this land designation is intended to provide suitable locations for general retail, personal service, office establishments, and other commercial uses that serve specific geographic locations, points of neighborhood entrance, and or portions of the city or growth management area that are not more readily served by service commercial land use areas. Efficient and safe transportation and pedestrian access with primary consideration where neighborhood commercial areas are located. Site design issues shall focus on the elimination or reduction of commercial strip development with careful consideration given to access control, roadway capacity, and landscape design criteria. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I think that just kind of gives a,
Do you have an idea of where we have NC in the city?
sure, yeah, I can pull up the zoning map.
Yeah.
Right off the top of my head, I think of Highway 24. If you're coming up the pass, it's on the right-hand side, kind of by there's a Keller Williams
Oh, okay.
building over there, kind
Okay.
of right as you're coming
Yeah,
into
so it's,
town.
yeah, it's super light commercial.
It's super light commercial. It's kind of, helps bridge the gap between
Yeah.
heavy service commercial and,
Yep.
neighborhood areas. So,
And it has, I believe, the setbacks are pretty close to residential.
that is correct. In the NC zone district, so you can see them here. This is, directly from the zoning code. 25 feet from the front, 25 from the rear, and 8 feet on the sides for main building. So that is the same exact as the urban residential zone.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Refresher.
Anything from the rest of you for staff? All right.
Not for staff.
Okay. Thank you, CJ.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah, if you'd like to join us at the podium, please. And if you have any presentation that you'd like to give the council, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Wertz and my husband Rob. We have been part of the Teller County community for over 20 years. As CJ had said, we purchased this property approximately 20 years ago. And before that, we also purchased the adjacent property located at 306 Chester Avenue as our family cabin. I worked with Sally Riley. It was probably around approximately that same time when we purchased Chester that was zoned. Can you highlight Chester in blue? So that property is right there. And so when we purchased that, that was zoned urban residential. And I worked with her on both of our properties, looking at the possibility of developing those commercially. It was her intent at the time and planning and that department for our whole block to be zoned commercial business district. At the time, the Human Bean didn't exist. The road Pikes Peak Avenue didn't exist. So she worked with me to vacate all of the alleys that were in our whole block. So between not only the property of all of Carter's properties, but then also between the other neighboring urban properties on our block as well. So it was definitely part of the plan at that time that they really saw this whole block going central business district. And again, this is all before STR and ordinance and all of that. So when I had purchased the Chester Avenue property thinking I would run our small residential architecture firm out of it, that was our goal. So We've got precedents of having done that before. Again, we own that property. We've never developed that property. That property almost sits exactly as we purchased it over 20 years ago. And then really, we're only here tonight because our 309 Willow property that we've rented, both short-term and long-term, over the past 20 years, to, host guests and travelers to our beautiful area here in Woodland Park, has, been changed with the recent changes in the code. So I don't have any presentations to show you because I really am not doing anything different to our property. The pictures, CJ shared, we host a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 4-guest home, and we want to, continue hosting guests. And part of when you talk about the balance of housing opportunities, what's now happened is, I don't know if you can tell me, but if I go online and try to see how many short-term rentals are now in the city of Woodland Park, I feel like I can hold up one hand and show you. And so then that doesn't feel very balanced to me. That feels like, short-term housing has become very, very limited in the city of Woodland Park. So I hear people go, oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, the reality is now with the ordinance, there's next to none. And because of our property and its location, I think because we are surrounded by so much commercial and our guests really support many of the local businesses that are not only within a stone's throw of our house, from the Human Bean to Arby's, but many of the other local businesses in town. I even saw Roy's Crew Barbecue here tonight. That's one that's our top recommendation for our guests to go to. We send them there, so I just, I feel like having places that we can host travelers, as Woodland Park was a destination to always come and vacation and visit for many, many years, that we've been doing that. We've been doing it very quietly, very peacefully. We currently stay at the other 306 Chester Cabin. I've never had any issues, any complaints that I'm aware of. And we're just here tonight to hopefully keep doing what we're doing and just abide by the changes that have come into play, which have, had us come tonight. You have anything else to say?
Yeah, the only, Rob Hortz here. The only thing I would say is I know you're concerned with the change in zoning, meaning that anybody could go in there and buy it and do whatever they want. But however, I mean, that still would have to be approved. And there's several things, like we're on a small lot. So I don't, maybe a tire shop for small bikes, I don't know. But for the most part, whatever would have to be done would have to be approved through you guys. So we're not planning on selling in any near future at all. So I don't think it'll be an issue for quite some time. I'm hoping to see more developments through Woodland Park, to tell you the truth. So that's all I have for that.
Thank you. Council, do you have questions for the applicant?
Yeah, so I do have one question for you, and it's not, I don't think there's a pushback on the STR thing, so you don't really care what it gets zoned as long as STR is a permitted use, right?
Yeah, I don't think that is an issue to me, but I will tell you, having sat in the planning commission, and you're gonna have to tell me the woman's name, she was pretty adamant about not spot zoning. CJ, your boss?
Yeah, that was our planning director, Karen.
Okay.
She's also on Zoom tonight. If you have
Okay,
questions for her.
gotcha. Yeah, and she might want to jump in and speak to that. I'm not saying that I care. I just want to keep using my property as
right.
I've been using it since we've owned it. So
Right.
that's our goal.
Right. No, I totally understand. And today, you're not renting it out.
Oh, I'm not
Or-
renting. I know I've had to
Yeah.
hold all my short-term rentals.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Although,
I literally, just as we were sitting here, filed my income tax or my sales tax again, because my permit is still showing pending. But I submitted every month, 0, 0, 0
Oh, to keep.
for almost the entire year now. So it hurts.
Yeah.
By the way, I know you guys like taxes. So just
Nope.
looking at the taxes that we pulled in from last year that went your way was nearly $2,000, and that's gone.
Thank you. I would just say, and I know Nina's online and she's better to speak to this than I am, but I do believe that spot zoning is not legal.
Oh, no, it's not. Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely.
So the reason, and I know that you all know this, but just to be clear, the reason that they're recommending CBD
Is
is because it's
adjacent.
contiguous to
Yeah.
other CBD zoning
Yep.
zoned properties. So that makes better sense, if you
Mm.
will, because it's
Yeah.
contiguous to something that's already there.
Right.
Yeah, and
That's-
because that was
thank you.
also the zoning we did with our adjacent property at 306 Chester Avenue, at the time, that was what I was also told from,
Sally.
Sally many years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that CBD is it's a pretty strong lift, but
But it has to go through the approval process. So it's not something that just can happen. Yes? Unless it's permitted, right?
Unless, yeah, unless it is permitted, if they change the zoning footprint, then it's subject to site plan review criteria, which is administrative.
yeah,
We just follow the code section on that.
right.
If it's a conditional use permit or anything like that, as you all know, it would go through you. So.
Thank you. Sorry, I just wanted to make for the public, just some clarity.
Mhm.
Council, questions of the applicant? Seth, I see you
I-
going
yeah,
for your
yeah.
microphone.
After that.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you. Stick around if you will. We may have further questions. You never know. All right, council, any deliberation? You have more questions for staff?
I just have a question or an opinion or however you want to look at it. With it going with the CBD route, is that gonna be, I want to say the gateway drug for others to be doing for short-term rentals in other places and, sections?
I
That's
wouldn't,
what I'm completely.
I wouldn't think so because we're statutorily prevented from spot zoning. So we can't just pick random parcels out of the city and say, we're doing X. What is, on the merits of this particular application, what makes the CBD zoning logical is its abutment to already existing CBD zoning. So, in other words, if you look at the zoning map and the property was a block further west, that wouldn't make any sense. We'd be back to spot zoning, which we can't do. So the challenge that I'm hearing from the questions and the comments is the use is probably better permitted for NC, but we're prevented from doing NC because that would be a spot zone. So either we approve the rezoning to CBD as it's currently presented in the application, or we don't. But I don't think that has any bearing on future applications. Like, I don't think by approving change to CBD, we open ourselves up to something else in the city, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Jeff. That was very well put.
If we were to, this is more of a question, I think, to CJ or maybe Aaron, but if we were to go ahead and approve the CBD and then decided later down the road that we want to have more of a neighborhood transitional area, can we just kind of more intentionally zone that area? Kind of like the folks were saying, maybe there was a vision at some point to put CBD throughout that entire street, I guess. It looks very residential on your pictures. Yeah, but would there be an opportunity to come back and say, hey, planning, let's be more intentional about this instead of, because while it's not spot zoning per se, it's kind of picking and choosing these parcels to,
Sure.
go CBD, and I'd like us to be a little more intentional about it.
Sure, yeah. If city staff got a recommendation from city council to pursue that, it would just take a lot of public outreach. Obviously,
Mhm.
these are all individually owned lots with, our citizens of Woodland Park owning them. They would have to buy in, so if we got 100% buy-in from those,
Yeah.
owned properties and, and those property owners were on the application, that's something that we could pursue.
DJ, can you up your mouth again? I want to talk about one more property. The middle.
Can you come to the microphone, please? We have folks out there and recordings that we'd love to capture. what you-
Sure.
Thank
When you open the map, the middle square of yellow in our block was actually an abandoned piece of property that when we were working with Sally, Carter's property owns that. So that middle square
Oh,
that's yellow,
Yeah.
that all went to Carter's property. I still question that it's yellow because it's all adjacent to his. So in my opinion, the only property on my whole block is owned by one person and it's that L on the corner. or what you would see is that L, because that middle parcel is owned by Carter, which, you know, his properties or those former Carter properties are all commercial on the Highway 24 frontage. So yeah, so to me, that middle square, I don't know how abandoned property works, but when he adjoins that to his, that, yeah, so anyway.
That's interesting.
Just-
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you made mention there's an alleyway in there, is that right?
Yes, so we vacated, if you pull that back up, sorry.
Just leave it.
Yeah, so if you pull that back up, CJ, the alley went all the way along Carter's properties, so all along the
Back
blue.
there, Yeah.
So all along there, and then all between Willow and that vacant one in the middle. So on your bottom south red line, yes. So that was also an alley that was vacated as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I understand, this request in the CBD. I understand this
Thank you.
request in the Central Business District, zoning, suggestion from it. But I guess I would like to see kind of a little more consideration, especially with the potential, because of the recent changes, that we may see more of these types of requests. I kind of agree with you, George, that I think we should have some sort of intentional framework, that both planning and the council can use to guide these. So I don't know if a work session would be possible in the future.
We are here to consider this item.
Okay,
It's a quasi judicial, and so we have to decide on this in this setting this evening. A work session would not be appropriate for this item. Nina, would you help me with that?
We could put a pin in that discussion, Councilmember Bryan, if you could wait till your council reports and we
okay,
can talk that through. But because this application was made, we want to consider it on the merits, and then we could talk about future work sessions for future properties and the zoning map and all that, or whatever you want to talk about during council reports. I would request that, just because it is a quasi-judicial hearing. You're sitting as a judge to apply the code as it is to the specific facts in front of you.
yeah, thank you.
Nina.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor?
I'll save it for report. That's
Okay.
what I'd like to-
Mayor?
Mayor,
Perfect.
planning director would like to speak.
Karen.
Yes, ma'am. I actually want to add on to what Nina was just saying. You know, as this being a quasi judicial item, you're seeing how staff is using the zoning ordinance in our aspirational comprehensive plan in terms of what kind of information and guidance does that give us for considering this request. So in the future, should we get another request at a different location, we will be doing the same process where we look at what's going on, what's around it. So very, very much specific to that location. So applying all of our rules and plans to a specific property and request. So that's, you know, we're holding true to what the QJ process is for, and did our best to bring you thorough information for your consideration this evening.
Thank you, Karen.
I mean, the reality is, we have to judge this application on its merits based off of itself and not any potential future applications or things that are unknown. I'm sensitive certainly to the concerns that have been brought up by Councilmember Jones and Councilmember Bryant, but based off the merits of this application, I struggle to come up with a defensible reason to deny it. Just to be honest.
Thank you, Jeff.
And I mean, I know we're all sensitive to zoning. I know we're all sensitive to permitted uses and the master plan and what we want for the future of our city. Unfortunately, be that as it may, I think all that's irrelevant in this discussion to a certain extent. So like I said, after hearing the testimony, hearing the applicants, listening to CJ, from my perspective, I just can't come up with any justifiable reason to deny the application. So I just wanted to say that very
Thank you.
clearly.
Thank you. Any further discussion, council, or questions of staff or the applicant? If not, I will open the public portion public comment portion of this public hearing and ask if there's anyone online or in the council chambers that would like to address the council with regards to this item.
The two that I had signed up were the applicants.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to come to the podium, please? If you'd give us your name and city of residence, please.
Hi, my name is Mindy and I live in Woodland Park.
Thank you, Mindy.
And I just want to thank you guys for considering this application and the fact that it used to be used as an STR for years and the fact that of where they're located. So I just want to thank you guys for considering that, not just being black and white, you know. My question is, will this set a precedence? I mean, I know that this is something that you guys have just been discussing, a precedent set for other urban residential properties to come forward with applications to do this, to do something similar. And it appears as though you'd have to have a criteria in place. Every single residential property would, if it's urban, would have to be considered. So if they're bordering CBD or NC, you know, that might be a criteria. Will you guys be establishing that criteria if this
Karen,
goes through?
Karen, would you like to repeat what you said earlier and share the process and how that would go forth with this nice young lady at the podium?
Absolutely, thank you. As I've said previously, every application is considered on its own merits. You know, so that's the whole point behind quasi judicial, is where we are applying all of the rules and policies to a particular request. And so when somebody comes in with that request, we are looking at, well, what are they asking for? Where is it located? And then what's going on around it? And we did that with this particular property. So what is it currently zoned? How is it currently developed? What's going on in the neighborhood around it? What's the zoning around that? So when you look at the staff report that even went to Planning Commission, we did not have a firm recommendation one way or the other, because it is an odd little spot in town that you have other houses in the CBD, like right across the street, as well as you've got houses in the urban residential zone district. So if it had been more clear in context, you probably would have seen a different recommendation from us. So it really was kind of on the fence, and that's where we defer to the recommendation of Planning Commission, who were appointed by City Council, and then ultimately our decision makers for what City Council thinks is best for the city of Woodland Park. So I don't envy you guys when you've got these tough cases in front of you. But to carry that out further, like you were asking, if somebody comes in a different location asking to change their zoning to a district so that they could do a non-primary resident or non-primary resident short-term rental, we would look at all those same things again. What's going on? What's the zoning? Is this appropriate here? In a different instance, you may see a very firm yes recommendation from City Council, or excuse me, from planning staff and the Planning Commission, or you may see a hard no recommendation. It really is, when this stuff gets applied to a specific situation, how does that shake out? So we do have tools to do the evaluation. So it's a matter of somebody's requesting, what does that look like? You know, we have no limits on the number of people who may choose to make this application. So yes, there is a potential you may see more similar requests, but each of those will get evaluated individually.
Does that help you?
That does. That
Okay,
does.
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mindy, for
Appreciate
the
it.
record, I need your last name.
Mindy, M-E-N-D-E.
Your last name?
Mindy, M-E-N-D-E.
Oh, okay.
And first name, M-I-N-D-I.
Okay,
That's
I thought I was hearing something wrong. Mindy.
Mindy.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's great.
That's very great.
Thank you so much. You bet. Anyone else wishing to address the council during this public hearing? Anyone online, Suze?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Then I'm going to close this public comment portion of the public hearing and look to council for further discussion or a motion.
So I agree with Jeff. I think for this specific thing, there's really no, and I would love to see, you know, them back in operation. Yeah, so I think I'm good to move forward.
Anyone else?
I'll make a motion for the approval of ordinance number 1503, series 2025. An ordinance rezoning lot 1, block 12, Foster's Edition, including the adjacent west 1/2 of vacated Scott Avenue as described at reception number 483423, and the adjacent north 1/2 of vacated alley as described at reception number 590996 of Woodland Park, Teller County, AKA 309 Willow Street, Woodland Park, Colorado, from urban residential to central business district, a request by Robert and Elizabeth Vincent Horitz, applicant and property owner.
Thank you, Jeff. Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, that was a complete tie. Who wants it?
Give it to him.
All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, council?
The only thing I would like to say that I think is really important that we stress, and we've kind of touched on it, but I really want to stress it. Each and every application for rezoning should be and will be judged on the merits of that application as it fits for the use requested, period, full stop. I really want to caution council and the community in trying to judge these requests based on outside factors that don't really have a bearing on the request in and of itself. So my apologies for a little bit of a speech there, but I just thought that was important.
Thank you, Jeff. Very important. All right, we have a motion and a second. Anything else, council, before I call the vote? Suzanne, please.
Thank you. Smith,
Yes.
Case,
Yes.
Bryant,
Yes.
Gear,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Congratulations. All right, council, that's all we have new business, item 10, which we have nothing. So that takes us to reports. Council, I have one thing that I'd like to have a discussion with you about and give direction to staff. In the past, we used to start our meetings on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. The last council, when Hillary was serving as mayor, we did new policies and procedures and had quite a discussion about starting time for the council meeting. And we landed at 6:30. I've heard from you all, several of you, that you would like to consider possibly starting the meetings at 6 p.m. moving forward from today. If we could kind of hear your thoughts or your concession or not to direct staff so that we know what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. 6 p.m. Yeah, I have no.
Unfortunately, Catherine's not here, but that's what happens when you're not here.
She's on a
You
cruise.
get voluntold, right? Seth,
I have no objection.
George?
I have no objection to 6 p.m. That'd be great.
I'm good with it as long as it gives staff and everybody else, you know, proper time to do what they have to do.
I
But
think
I'm
it,
totally for 6.
it helps them get home a half hour early sometimes, I'd say. They've been here all day.
Okay.
All right, I agree. I'll give my consensus to that. So do we actually need to vote or?
No, Mayor, I just need to know when you would like this effective, because we have to do some notification to the public. We have to be real clear with them so they know. We have to get the word out.
Given
What would you like? What do you think
Could
is the
we
proper
do the
time?
first one in November, perhaps?
Does that work
So
for you all?
I was thinking after our budget sessions is when we should
That would
bring
be next year.
and no, we have one more working session for the budget though, right?
Correct.
So I would advocate we make the change to 6 after we do that work.
that would be the first,
First of
November
Okay.
6th.
November, yep.
All right, we'll
Is-
start November 6th.
I just want to make
Alright.
sure everyone knows. We'll
Absolutely.
shout it out to the world. The other thing is, for those of you that do work, it will mean if we do have a work session, we'll be starting that much earlier. So I just want to bring that up. You know, if the work sessions start usually at 5, we may have to start at 4:30.
We can also have them after.
Yep.
We could have them after.
We can have them after the meeting as well if that
Okay.
causes an inconvenience.
Okay.
All right.
I'll get it done.
Thank
Thank you.
you. All right, I also have some community events. PPACG meeting is not until next week, so I'll report back at our next meeting about what's going on there. Community events, October 2nd through October 16th, 2025. This Saturday, October 4th, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. is Night at the Library Council. I hope to see you there. Head to the library dressed in your favorite 20s attire, or not, for hors d'oeuvres, signature cocktails, music, and more. Tickets are $50 at the library front desk, and all proceeds go to the Rampart Library District Foundation. You can also find them online. On Monday, October 6th, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Ute Pass Cultural Center, the Woodland Park Chamber, thank you, will be hosting the Woodland Park RE2 School Board Candidates Forum. Come to hear the candidates' positions on academics, safety, budgeting, and governance. On Wednesday, October 8th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the free community concert at the Ute Pass Cultural Center, starring Mike and Birdie Mountain Music Disco. I should say that again. Starring Mike and Birdie Mountain Music Disco. This duo plays an exciting blend of original and contemporary bluegrass, folk, and classic country. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. And lastly, calling all high school students. The city is now accepting applications of interest for the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. The Mayor's Advisory Council will be comprised of 9 students in the 9th to 12th grades, selected by a panel of city staff, the mayor, and community volunteers. Check out the city's website for more information to apply. Applications will be accepted through Friday, October 17th. And I'm really looking forward to this. We had a previous mayor, Steve Randolph, that had a youth advisory council. And I just think it's something we need to do to begin to include our youth in the future, the vision, what we're doing, what's coming, and get their input because they are our future leaders.
What would that look like?
What would what look like?
This advisory council, like how would this function?
We're going to meet monthly.
Okay.
And at this point, that's the plan. Staff and I have been working on a plan for it. And we will come back to you with what we're doing and what we're looking at and how we're going to conduct meetings and when they are, and you'll get to meet them and see the swearing in and the whole ceremony. So, okay. And if there's input, I'd welcome that from all of you. All right?
Yeah.
All right. Please encourage students out there to get involved. We'll have a lot of fun. I really am a nice person. I won't be mean.
Your Honor.
Seth.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I did want to thank the city staff and the planning commission for all the hard work that they do whenever they bring matters before us for consideration. It's clearly thorough work and thoughtful. So just thank you for all that work and obviously for being here tonight. That being said, I think I would like a little better understanding, so I'll be reaching out to either see if maybe there's an opportunity for a work session, or if a larger group of people would like a better understanding, or if maybe we just need some one-on-one, fill Seth's brain with something.
I would echo that though.
Yeah,
Seth.
same here.
I think there is a work session opportunity, especially looking at some of those, I think the applicants pointed out very well that whole area, it's going to be very interesting. And I agree with Chair Brown on the Planning Commission that CBD is that's extreme. And so I'd really like to have, an open dialogue with all of us and planning to talk about how to move that forward. I think there are some transitional ways to bring, STRs into that that butt up against the CBD. And I think there's better ways to do it. But for now, these guys, get to do their thing. But I think we just need to take a look at that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think our challenge is going to be this, without oversimplifying the process, this particular application was pretty straightforward. The way that the current subject property sits in relation to other concurrent properties. This one was unique in that the fact that while CBD might be a little heavy, it kind of fit a little bit like a glove. This is probably our first and only and last one that's gonna be that simple. So I think in that respect, we need some kind of if this then that framework. And right now we really don't have any other than our code, and our code is open to interpretation.
So on that, Aaron, when was the last time and when is our comprehensive plan update due again? Or Karen?
Well, this one goes through 2030, so
Okay.
the next one will be at the end of this decade.
Typically, the zoning map is reconsidered and zoning changes made during that comprehensive plan process, because then the whole map is taken into consideration for appropriateness of zoning. So just for your.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, my.
Because I don't know that any of you were here for the
No.
last comp plan.
No, but obviously the concern is, that's 5 years and we're gonna see these.
I
more
understand.
frequently Before then,
Understand.
so yeah, I
Thank you.
think getting us all at a table and talking it out's a good idea.
Okay,
We can definitely facilitate that.
Okay.
thank you, Aaron.
Aside from that, I do want to mention, we do have a charter review meeting on the 8th. And then this Saturday, I'm
Right,
sorry?
We changed that date because, yeah, the last meeting we changed, it's on the, because I wasn't gonna be able to be here and Councilmember Nakai could not be here, so we changed that
Not the 14th,
15th.
15th. Okay.
Yes,
Apologies. It's on the 15th.
perfect.
Of October. I believe it is our last regularly scheduled meeting. And so hopefully coming out of that, we'll have some more recommendations for council to look at and put on the ballot in April or not. And then this Saturday at 8 a.m. Is the Creek Week cleanup with Keep Woodland Park Beautiful. We'll be meeting at Cavalier Park. Apex Waste has generally donated a dumpster for us to fill up with anything we can from that watershed up there at Fountain Creek. But we'll be going from Cavalier Park pretty much down to the Cristola Roadhouse. Just picking up anything that's unsightly and not good for our creeks. So if anybody's looking for something to do Saturday morning, a little brisk walk, it's a good way to spend your time and we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Seth. Jeff?
The only thing I have is I'd like to wish my family's golden retriever, Violet Beauregard, a very happy 12th birthday today.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
That's
She's
all right.
adorable. All right, George?
Yes, Monday morning, October 6th at 10 a.m. we have Main Street meeting. And then October 7th at 7:30 a.m. in these chambers is DDA.
Thank you.
And,
And
I'm sorry,
yes.
Main Street, did we move them down here?
Every meeting will move around, so
Okay.
I believe the next one is gonna be down here.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, Mayor.
Steve,
No,
nothing?
no,
All
nothing.
right. We'll let you off the hook this time.
Loves and hugs to everybody,
Uh-huh.
especially if you need them. Actually, I did get 2 people came by the house. Saying, hey, here you're giving free hugs. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Aaron?
I will tack on to what Councilmember Jones said about DDA. We will be going over budget estimates at that meeting and looking at the priorities that we received from the last one. So if anyone's interested in watching that, we will be talking about that. And then I'd like to invite the chief up for an announcement.
Oh, I forgot. No, I was going down, I was waiting. I
Suzanne
forgot the city. attorney.
Suzanne says she warned all of you, so.
I have it on my agenda to invite.
Fantastic.
Who is the city attorney?
They're listening. Go right ahead.
Do you have anything for us, Nina?
I'm not gonna upstage the chief. I'm good, but thank you. Sorry I'm missing you all in person.
Go ahead, Chris.
So first I'm gonna start because I can use a little levity today. It's just been one of those days. Councilmember Smith, I have to admit, I chuckled in the back with your reference to CBD being the gateway to circumventing the zoning. I found that funny. Second, I would have a field day calling your name out to my dispatchers over the radio. I think that would be hilarious.
You should just do it for.
I
fun.
know. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep you late because she'll probably win a bet. A few things.
The better.
Well, no, you didn't lose it. Okay, anyway, a few things. Every now and then it's fun to get a reminder of why we do this job. today was one of those fun days where we had a first grade class from CSCS come visit us and take a field trip. You can see all the fun we had on our Facebook page. It kind of takes you right back to first grade all over again. And then you realize that adulting is in your face and you snap back to reality. But we had a good time with that class. Yeah, what can I say? They're our neighbors right next door, so having them was fun. Second, just a quick reminder, if anybody's wondering about the pink patches on our uniforms, it is officially Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That is October. So you will see some of our staff wearing these hot pink breast cancer pink patches as a way to kind of symbolize, remember, and always hope for a cure for cancer of all kinds, but specifically this one. So that's why the pink patches are out. So anybody's curious about that, that's what that symbolizes. And then you got yours, and we have extras. If anybody wants one, let me know. Last and not least, probably the most important reason why I'm here is to remind everybody that you've likely seen that earlier this week, we were made aware of the passing of former police chief, as you probably affectionately know him as Bob Larson. Mr. Larson, I guess, was living in Michigan after his retirement, from what I understand, way back in 2015. Of course, I never had the pleasure, but many of you likely did. I know that Suzanne and Chief Larson went way back. He did a long time here, if I remember right, 36 years with the city, which I have a special appreciation for, because in another place and time, I am the 30-year guy. So I understand what that kind of commitment looks like. But we only found it fitting to work on a ceremony that the community can come participate in with us to give him a remembrance, sort of a memorial for those of you who knew, loved, and adored him and or worked with him. It is open to the public. You will see announcements on our page right now. Suzanne and I are pretty well working diligently on putting details together with former folks who worked here, past chiefs of police. Well, we've invited his family through a Zoom type, Facebook Live type forum to come and join us with that. But we're really working hard to put together a ceremony that will be representative, I think, of what you all would expect from us to give Chief Larson proper recognition over and above his retirement for the years of service that he spent here. So mark the 28th of October, 2 to 4 at UPCC to come join us if you like. From what I understand, we're working on a little bit of light refreshment there to just kind of get people to come in, sit down, talk, come to the service with us. And we hope that when it's all done, that you will find that the product we give you is exactly what you're hoping for. So if you have any questions, let us know. Feel free to shoot them to me, shoot them to Suzanne. We're kind of tag teaming this really hard right now, but we're on a mission and we're out to get it right. Any questions?
Thank you for doing that, Chief. Bob was
Absolutely.
a wonderful man.
As I gather, the name I hear often around the city circles is his. It's very apparent that his impact was deep and wide and has not been forgotten. And to be among his company is an honor. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Nothing else? Anything else? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.